It's minicamp season, and today we're looking at the New Orleans Saints and getting a good look at the quarterback battle of the century, Tyler Shough versus Spencer Rattler. We're going to watch him throw the ball all over the yard, but before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at practice, rookie camp, OTAs, minicamp, soon-to-be training camp, workouts in between, so you get a good look at your rookies, those quarterback battles, guys you're drafting in fantasy football here soon. Click that button. Stop missing out on your favorite players. You may have to make some decisions betting-wise, fantasy-wise, for your favorite teams. Watching them, knowing what's going on, it's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. 8 minutes of clips here. We're going to let it roll. We're going to loop it. Keep talking ball. Starting off with Spencer Rattler. All accounts, honestly, macro analysis from polling clips and reading tweets and blurbs, both quarterbacks are looking good. Rattler, let me know how you feel and what you've read, but it seems like he's got the edge from what I've seen. Shough hasn't been looking bad. He will have some incompletions here, but from what I've read, that a lot of his incompletions are still very impressive with where he's placing the football and getting it downfield. And you're seeing now some of those, like that one to Brandon Cooks there. Just a rope. But Spencer Rattler, going into year 2, getting the opportunity in the offseason to have more of a role, to fight for the job. Both these quarterbacks have very good arm talent. Very good arm talent. As we're watching them throw the rock around. We're going to see Jake Hayner back in there a little bit. Saw some clips of him being back in there. There's Shough right there. Downfield. Right there. Don't know if he brought it or not. Looks like he got it. Might have been out. Don't know. But that was a pretty ball. Towards the corner as well. There's Shough again. Getting it. We're looking at him again, stepping back. Finding his guy. Looks like the same play. There's Rattler, handing it off to Alvin Kamara. Let me know in the comments below which quarterback you're rooting for. You're rooting for the rookie, you're rooting for Rattler to win the job. Most Saints guys, Saints fans, are probably rooting for the guy that does the job the best, honestly. Some of you guys might have a sour taste in your mouth from last season, so you might be rooting for Shough. That might be in the cards. Some of you guys are college football fans, high school recruiting fans, and might be rooting for Rattler. That might be the difference. Where Shough looked good at Louisville last year, and he had his moments. He looked good. He showcased that arm talent. But Rattler, like, if you don't remember, decorated 5-star quarterback coming out of high school, was really deemed as the next great college quarterback. We start off our career looking pretty strong. Then we have that fall off at Oklahoma. Caleb Williams steps in. You go to South Carolina. And when you have a fall off from grace like that, typically NFL draft stock, that pretty much means that your career is probably going to be done. More than likely. The thing about Rattler is that he was calm and poised and worked his way up, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and rebuilt his draft stock. Looked good at South Carolina, had his moments there, and we were able to get drafted. Like, we've seen this story a lot of times with a lot of other players, other positions, where they're decorated, they're good prospects, and then they have a fall off from grace in their collegiate career. But the fact that he was able to come back, the fact that we're still on the Saints, the fact that we're in a quarterback battle right now, even though there's context to it with Derek Carr and everything else, that is circumventing the odds. That shows you that you got a hard worker here. You're looking at arms, though. Both these guys lets it fly. Shough's got the arm talent. And the thing is, you're shaking your head because Shough come back from them injuries, and I understand. And we go to Louisville, go back to that Notre Dame game. Go just look at the highlights. You don't have time to look at games because you'll see it. You'll see it in these clips, like rolling out, hitting that back corner, red zone looks, moonballs downfield, accuracy downfield. He has an NFL arm. Had an experience with all the injuries. Just able to climb our way back up. So really, you have two dogs fighting it out for the starting quarterback role. Two dogs starting it out. Rattler has some moxie to him, and it's been there ever since high school. Shough's kind of got that chill vibe approach. But Shough, deep ball city, pretty ball. If both quarterbacks are out there, I would expect, what I mean both quarterbacks, like if you have to start both of them, now I'm not making predictions, that's if, you're going to see both of them with showing off them arms. Showing off them arms. You're going to get some nice throws out of them. Now, you might have a transition period here. Both of them young quarterbacks, young to the league. Older prospects. I mean, Shough's older than Rattler. So older for, but I mean young prospects, young for the league. And still young prospects, but still. But you're going to see guys that are going to show off some of that talent. So going back last year, the All-22, there's this play where Rattler made, and I get it, he had his down moments, but I'm talking about this one play, is he threw this deep ball, and he stepped up into it, almost ran into the offensive line, is deep downfield, and nails it perfect, down the money, over the middle, tight coverage. It's just stuff like that you're going to get from Rattler. Now, if we can tailor that and get that consistent, get that confident with the offense, and stay healthy. Health was a major factor last season for the Saints. We talked about that lineup setting in fantasy football. We talked about that with these quarterbacks, with the wide receivers that were in and out. That was a huge factor for this team. That was a huge factor. Coming in healthy, we got Olave back. We got Rashid Shaheed back. We got Brandon Cooks back on the offense now. He wasn't there last year, but he's back now as a supreme route runner. These young quarterbacks need that. They need that. And that's one thing we've been talking about, looking at these situations where those young quarterbacks that have good situations where you got money wide receivers, upper echelon wide receivers, backfields, they should hit quicker. They should. Like, if you got the talent, it's meant to be, you should hit quicker with that. Here, they had injuries last year. So, Rattler going into year 2, we're developing. We got Shough here, slinging the rock all around. Has more mobility than advertised, especially rolling out. Talking about Shough, you got a guy here that has a pretty arm. Maybe give him some time, give him some grace. Maybe give him some grace to develop. That's the thing about that. Where Rattler, he's been around a bit. Like, I get it. Shough's been in college football for a bit, but Rattler's been around a bit. And he's been with Oklahoma, South Carolina. He's been there for years. He's got a year in the system. It's a different system now, but a year in the NFL game where he's poised. And from the accounts, it sounds like Rattler is winning so far, but it's only minicamp and OTAs. Training camp when the pads come on. And now you think guys are open. It doesn't matter when the pads come on. More of the system gets downloaded for these players. Like, more things are happening, and you get into joint practices. Joint practices, that's when things really heat up. There's more camp fights. There's more camp battles. That's when things really click for these guys, that they're fighting for their job. Like, the horizon is in the future. Like, hey, cuts are coming. Cuts are coming. And I might be the number 2 at this position, but number 4 here is stepping it up. And now, all of a sudden, there's fights. All of a sudden, there's this. Like, camp is different. Camp is different. It's less lax. You're seeing the Raiders out there rolling around in one of those beach ball things on the last day of minicamp. It ain't that lax in training camp, especially once you get heated with the pads on and once you get to those joint practices right before the preseason games. And it's hotter outside. It's more miserable. That's just how it is. Spencer Rattler, I'm rooting for him. I'm always rooting for a player that just falls from grace but builds himself back up. But also Tyler Shough. Why I'd be rooting for him, it's the same light from the injuries. And then on top of that, as a draft prospect, he was all over the place by the media. But you see the arm talent there. and he goes in the second round. Shedeur falls. A lot of people hating on the pick, but Tyler Shough has that arm talent, and the thing about that is another underdog player. Another underdog player. I root for UDFAs. I root for late-round picks. I root for quarterbacks that could exceed expectations, that you see a little glimmer of hope in their game. I see that with both these quarterbacks, and you're just hoping that things click. Now, if you're looking at this for fantasy football, either quarterback, honestly, you're playing money ball and you're hoping for expectations to exceed. That's what you're doing. You're playing money ball. You're going cheaper in value. Doesn't matter the format. That being said, this is an offense where I hope they continue with what they're doing in their approach to get vertical, because that's what the wide receivers are built to do here, which I imagine so. And both these quarterbacks will push it vertical, and you have a good outlet there with Alvin Kamara. So if things gel, you might get some good money ball weeks out of them. And that might be more for DFS, best ball, or if you're streaming. Because due to the quarterback values, depending on what format you're playing, if you're looking at Dynasty, Shough's drafted up in rookie drafts. Rattler's not cheap anymore, or as cheap as what he was, due to the news and buzz. But you can still catch him at a discount if you're in the right league where guys are sleeping a bit. But people are watching this depth chart right now. They're watching the quarterback battle. And if they're willing to sell, they might try to trip you up with an overpay. The time to buy was when I was telling you, hey, kick the tires. Early OTAs before the new news blurbs were coming out. Because the thing is, Rattler was coming out hot, and now there's practices being stacked. They're seeing the news blurbs right there under the player name, and they're just thinking out loud, especially in a super flex league where quarterbacks are expensive in Dynasty for those trades. Now, if it's one QB and you're looking to gamble, look at your waiver wire. There's starting quarterbacks there, and if so, one of these guys are probably there anyways. But look at your waiver wire. That'll give you a key to the market. If quarterbacks can just fly around the trade market willy-nilly, and you're just looking for a gamble play, cool. Just don't really overpay. It's the market still. You like player, cool. Any player it is, but you definitely don't want to overpay for a player unless you're absolutely certain. Downfield, boom. Downfield, boom. Downfield. This is where you get the montage. Ball's coming out hot. We will have more clips from training camp, for sure, of these two quarterbacks. And it could end up being every day. As training camp, most of these teams allow more of the media. Saints are opening up more to the media this year. And I imagine it's different coaching staff. But I'm getting more clips from different media teams. So that's a good thing to see. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.